Hi guys, well we got the Landy home. It was very noisy. It was all recorded on my GoPro, but that is all being very slow to transfer its information across for some reason. But when I get it all downloaded, I'll put it all together and make another video of the run home, just the highlights of it, because like I say, it was really noisy. One of the things I found out, I'll take you to in a minute. So this is being videoed on my iPad, so if I keep looking away from the camera, it's because I keep looking at the screen to see how the image is framed. But there we go, that's modern technology, and I can't look at two things at the same time. So what I'm going to do in this little video, it shouldn't be too long, but is take you around the things that I've found wrong so far. There's quite a few. Some of them I don't know why they've been done, and others, well, it's just the age of the vehicle. It was built in 1976. Although it's been living in a desert climate, it has also been living near the ocean, so for its age and considering where it's lived, it's in pretty good nick. Not a lot of rust in it, but it's got to be attended to sooner rather than later, otherwise it will become a big job. So anyway, I'll stop videoing me and I'll turn the camera around and we'll start looking at the bits that I've found so far on the ever increasing list of jobs that I've got to do. So I'll take you through. Right, so first thing that I've noticed, both doors have been done. The previous owners have tried to take off the top half of the window frames. So as you can see, just over there, the nut is loose. Now this end of the door is fine, it's all free, but that end of the door, the bolt is seized, and as you can see there's slight misforming in this area here. Now both doors are like it. The driver's door is worse, but it's easy to show on that side, where they have attacked it with a hammer to try and separate the halves. Now instead of doing it properly, taking a time, bit of WD-40 to soak into it, which is what I've done, and just leave it for some days and just keep topping it up, they've just attacked it and missed it lots of times and just hit the door. Now the driver's, like I say, the driver's door is worse, but that's one thing. The radio, for some reason, if I just come back round to here, for some reason there's no fuse in it, and obviously all this nice earth insulation tape wrapped around it. That's another thing. And for some reason I have here wired into a switch in this block of wood a cigarette lighter socket. Well, I'm going to have to do something better with that, I think. It appears here in the dashboard someone has tried to fit the switch and cut it in the wrong place, and just, God knows what they've done. It just, like I said, some tape stuck over it at some stage, and so yeah, that will need sorting. We have the switch here. That is not a demister because we don't have a heated rear window. What that is for the socket in the piece of wood, but that's what's gone on in here. And here's another bodge. This is going to have to go, but what they've done is they forced into a socket globe, and so that makes an interior light. Very ingenious, but that is definitely not the safest way of doing that. So that is definitely going to be going. Okay, we're outside now, so it's going to get windy. We have lots of wind in this town, but this lock was absolutely sea solid. It had a bungee wrapped around the handle to hook around the seat back to hold the door shut when you were driving. They said it was completely broken, but this is one job I've successfully completed. Just give it a good soak in WD-40. Now it all works beautifully. But yeah, as I'll show you the other door, if we just look, there's not even any bolts. light on the screen. Oh, I'll do that again. And as with the other side, there is no nuts on the bottom of the door, top where it bolts through there, and up here, just get the camera to where my fingers pointing, they jimmied it with a screwdriver to try and prise it apart, and that hasn't worked, so they abandoned that. But yep, there we go. So from outside, the door handle is lovely. We'll just come back round in the window. Got the big bruise there, and the big bruise there, where they try to smack the top of the door off. Another thing I'll be replacing will be the mirrors. Quite ingenious. Stuff to fit, but cannot see anything out of them, so they'll be going. What we have here, you can just see through to the floor inside. That is pretty much the only rust on the bulkhead that I can see is in exactly the same place on the other side. That is it. So hopefully that won't be too difficult to fix. We'll now start progressing around the other bits in the engine. What I have here, I don't know how much you'll hear because of the wind noise. I have these two wires, no idea what they're for. I have another two wires in here. There's one there, and this one here. These two are for the horn. The horn, which is down in there, the terminal had snapped off, so they tried to blob it with a bit of solder, but that didn't work, so that needs sorting. This is meant to be the radiator filler cap, but it's a kit. So we'll take the lid off, and that bit off, and the spring. Well, the water's gone green at least. It was sort of brown mud coloured the other day, so it's all started to circulate around the engine. I will be replacing that. I'll give it a good flush through and get a new cap. Just amusing that it's a 4-piece kit. It's about to pop out even more, so I can't drive this anywhere really because that's just going to ping out, lose all my coolant. Now if we go down here, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Oh yes. Now the reason it was noisy, it'll be easier outside, so we'll just go down here. Here's the exhaust. It's actually where it joins onto the manifold. There's about a 4mm gap. There should be a gasket. There's no gasket in there, and again, it's the nuts are left halfway up the studs. So that's a job that's got to be sorted. Again, these things of why I don't know. The headlights, for some reason, I have no high beam, and that's both of them. Low beam works fine, no high beam. And the spotlights, I haven't even found what switch turns them on, or if they do indeed come on. They have wired in here a relay. Now I'm going to assume that is to do with the headlights. I don't really know. It could be. If anyone out there knows exactly what that relay is for, if they could let me know. Okay, now work our way around to the lights. Now the lights aren't very good. The lens is fogged, faded, bleached by the sun. And on this side, you might have seen, or you will see in one of my other videos, we stopped to pick up the lens where it had fallen off on the drive of where we bought it. What I'm contemplating to do is replace all of these and the front ones with LED versions that look like the original lights, or as close as possible with LED lights, and swap them out and see how well they work. So basically that's the majority of what's got to be done. Full service obviously, because I've not got a clue when it was done last, and yeah, we'll go through it slowly and do each job one at a time. First is get online and order some parts. So we'll leave it at that, and I'll catch up with you later.